appropriate during the holiday when we pause to think of the wonderful message the Creator gives us, where He reaches down into creation and with a special message redeems His children. And that Creator is not only the author of the great Christmas message that we celebrate, but He's also the author of a fantastic message that brings liberty and freedom and prosperity to nations.
Yeah.
America became the most prosperous civilization in 5,000 years of human history because of an experiment, because it codified the laws of nature and nature's God. And our founders fought and died for it. History tells us that when nations adhere to the laws of nature and nature's God, they find freedom and prosperity. And when they deny them, they find poverty and tyranny. And when we look around the world today and we see all the pathologies that we face as a nation, you can call it a debt crisis or a mortgage crisis or Occupy, we believe that they're all simply departures from the principles upon which our nation was founded. And nobody is going to be impacted more by those bad decisions than the demographic that stands up here behind me. They don't have any lobbyists in Sacramento or Washington, and none of them have had the opportunity to vote. And so what we have done is we've taken the essence of conservatism. What is conservatism? What is it we're conserving? Is it not the laws of nature and nature's God? We've put it into 7 principles. If you come by our table in the back, there's more wisdom in this little trifold brochure than there is in a high school textbook. Don't take my word for it. Go back and open it up. But we believe this is the answer. These 7 principles that they're about to share. We, im2moro, want to be the leaders in a national movement that trains and equips young people on the principles of liberty. We want to stand up, we want to speak out, and we want to challenge the status quo. And we want to unite America around the message of hope. They're going to step up here. We're going to hear 1 minute from each of them on the 7 principles. And then Audrey is going to give a speech a little shorter than what we normally give. She's going to give a short speech. Before I do that, I would just like to introduce you to these special students. And I'll start over here at the end. At the end is Sawyer Winston. Sawyer's 17. He's an intern on Brian Jones' staff. And Sawyer is also a fantastic speech and debater. He just competed in a 50-man, 2-man team tournament called Team Policy, debating a resolution the federal government should substantially reform its federal revenue policy. And out of 50 teams, that young man placed 3rd. He also does crazy stuff like compete in speech competitions where you're giving a current event and you have 30 minutes to prepare before you've got to stand up and be judged. So that's Sawyer Winston. Next to Sawyer is Audrey Taylor. If you've seen im2moro speak, we've spoken at over 20 events this year. Nobody is more the face of im2moro than Audrey Taylor. ICAUCUS, Tea Parties, Federation, Republican Women. Many of you have seen her. She's a fantastically gifted speaker. She's 16 years old, and she is a former national champion in speech. Next to her is Jeriel Burke, and Jeriel Burke is the sister of Asher Burke. Some of you know who's on staff with Assemblyman Jones. She's also the granddaughter of 5-term Republican Assemblyman from Huntington Beach, the 73rd, Robert E. Burke, who served out of Huntington Beach for the 2 terms that Reagan was governor. And her father tells me about getting jelly beans off of Reagan's desk. Jeriel has also competed in speech and debate, and she holds the distinguished honor of not just winning terms, but she is the national champion in speech and debate. Her and her partner won the year they debated foreign policy on Russia, so the last thing anybody wants to do tonight is debate her. on foreign policy with Russia. Doesn't matter which side you pick, she can argue both sides of it. Next is the youngest member of our team, Luke. Luke is 15. He's our creative one. He designed the shirts you see. And Luke also qualified for nationals in speech and debate last year. He speaks on sound money. You won't hear him give a speech tonight, but he spoke to a wonderful crowd at the biennial convention of the San Diego County Federation of Republican Women, and after his 10-minute speech, got a standing ovation. Luke. The last one over here, one of his peers referred to as a genius. He is going to graduate this year from high school, but he'll also graduate simultaneously as a junior in college because he likes to do crazy things like take college textbooks in American history and American civ and macroeconomics and go down to San Diego State and pass them and get the credits. So he's an incredible young man. He is right now, after the first term of the year, he won that first term of 50 teams, went 6-0. He's right now ranked #1 in the nation, Blake Andersen. I'm going to get down and let you hear what you came here for. What im2moro is doing is marrying the principles that were our founders with the articulation and the debate and speech skills of these students. Please welcome.